Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Covert Knits podcast. I'm your host, Abigail Covert. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Sunday, May 24th, and I'm coming to you from sunny Omaha, Nebraska. It's sunny for the moment, won't be all day, but taking advantage of it to film this morning. I hope you are having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend if you are in the States and celebrating Memorial Day. Otherwise, I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. You can find me as Covert Knits on Ravelry and at covert_knits on Instagram. You can find those right here. I'll also link them below where I put all of the show notes for anything that I've talked about today. So let's go over the things that we're going to talk about today. We'll chat a little bit about what I'm wearing. I don't have any finished objects today. First time since I've started recording that I don't have anything finished. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything done this week. That's okay. I do have 3 whips to chat about a little bit, and then we're going to talk quite a bit about my upcoming Pride Sockathon 2020 knit along. I'm going to show you some of the finished pairs that I did last year, and then also I'm going to have you guys help me pick the first pair I should cast on this year. And then I do have one tiny little bit of stash enhancement to show you guys this week. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, what I'm wearing is the Mira. It is by Elizabeth Smith, and I knit this out of Kestrel. I just knit this this spring. Kestrel is by Quince & Co. It's an Aran weight, 100% linen, and it's kind of ribbon style yarn. It's a lot of fun to work with. I actually will be making another garment out of this here soon. I'll stand up so you can get a little bit better view of it. And there's the back. Okay. And again, no finished objects this week. I tried to get a couple things done, but it just didn't happen. And that's okay. Some weeks are better than others. My knitting mojo kind of took a little bit of a break this week. I still knit quite a bit, but I just wasn't as focused on that as I was some other things. So that's okay. We kind of roll with the punches around here. So my first project that I want to chat a little bit about is my Lilli Pilli. It is in my bag, my awesome bag here. Again, I purchased this from, they used to be a Simpler Home on Etsy, and I think now they're the Bearded Pearl. Okay, so I really don't even need to show you this. I only got one lace repeat done from the last time I showed you, so if you're a regular watcher, you'll have, this won't look any different. I did one 10-row lace repeat. Other than that, it's exactly the same as it was. I was hoping to be done with the lace this week. That just didn't happen. My brain wasn't prepared for lace this week. But this is knit out of Mad Tosh Merino Light. The colorways are Antler for the cream, Wood Smoke for the gray, and Coquette for the pink. And it is being knit on US size 5s. That's really all I have to say about that one right now. Hopefully it'll get some work this week. Maybe tomorrow on Memorial Day I'll pull it out and get some rows done on it, but we'll see. I'm not stressing about it. It did get a little bit of work. So that's my first work in progress. My second work in progress is my City Limit sweater. Oh, the Lilli Pilli is by Ambah O'Brien. I'm sorry, I meant to say that. The City Limits is by Tanis Lavallee of Tanis Fiber Arts. So my goal last week was to get past the raglan increases and split for the sleeves, which I have done, and I've just continuing knitting down the body. So I've started just at the very bottom here, marling in my 4th color. So I'm using Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love Sock on this. The colorways are linen up here at the top, Basil, Goldmine, and then just this first little one, or this little bit down here, is Grapefruit. So that is this color. So that's what I'm striping in next. This is a top-down raglan pullover. It is, you can wear it with the stockinette side showing or the reverse stockinette side showing. I probably will be wearing it with the reverse stockinette. I really like how the marling looks on that side, but I haven't 100% decided yet. So I'm just gonna keep knitting along and see how I feel about it as we go. I'm enjoying it. It's a very simple knit, especially where I'm at now. I'm just knitting stockinette with a little bit of detailing on the side. It's got some great details along the side here, but nothing that requires too much brain power. So it's a great thing to pull out, and I get 1 or 2 rows done. When I'm on a conference call or things like that, or sitting watching TV. It's a good television knit. So that is my City Limit sweater. It's coming along great. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to wear it, but it'll probably be a while. And since it's you're holding 2 yarns together, it's knit a worsted weight. It is knit on size 8, so it will be a heavier weight sweater. I probably won't really be able to wear it till this fall, so there's no real rush on this, except that I am enjoying knitting it. So that is my City Limits sweater. And my final work in progress is the one that I tried to get finished for you today. Here it is. It is a pair of socks that I've got going on, 2 at a time. It's the Mina's 2 at a time sock pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Philipp. And these are my socks. Hope I'm not in the middle of a row here. So I'm almost done. I've got about 8 to 10 more rows on the foot before I do the toe. I have pretty small feet, so. And I am using Patton's Croy Sock FX. Ooh. In the Clover's color. So that is this will be finished this week, possibly even today, because I want to get these socks off my needles before I start casting on for the Sockathon. So these are almost done. I really love how the colors are striping up. These are knit top down, 64 stitches, 2 at a time on US 1.5s, which are 2.5 millimeter needles. I think I'm using Addies for these. And I do the German short row heel that is called for in the pattern, and I will knit a slightly rounded toe. So these will be a finished object for the next week. So close, almost got them done, but had to go to sleep last night, couldn't stay up and finish them. So that is my last work in progress. Not a ton of knitting this week. It's just been a busy week. Let us move on to my goals for the upcoming week. My goals for last week were to get past the raglan on the City Limits. Did that, no problem. And to work more on the Lilli Pilli, which I did, but not as much as I would like. So the Lilli Pilli is still on my goals for this week, to just continue working on it, try and get as much of the lace patterning done as I can, so that I can move into the simple. The next part is just more of the striping, which is pretty simple and mindless. So hoping to get through the lace on that, but if I don't, that's okay. And then to finish my socks. Those are my only 2 goals for the week. Because I know once June 1st hits and I start the Sockathon, all of June will just be socks. So I want that pair of socks off the needles, and I want all of my other projects at a good point, because they won't be picked up again until July. So, and that's okay. That's how I did it last year, and that's how it's going to have to be this year. So that is, those are my goals for the week. Again, they're loose goals. They're just kind of to keep me on track, or to kind of guide me. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by the amount of yarn and knitting and beautiful projects and all the things that are out there. I know other people do too. So having a simple goal helps to keep me focused on what is right in front of me. It doesn't mean that I can't pick something else up. Of course, I have plenty of yarn. There's wonderful patterns out there. It's just helping me to focus a little bit on what I should be working on this week, or what I had hoped to work on this week. And then, sometimes cast-ons happen, and that's the knitting life. So yeah, that's the goals for the week. So let's do, before we talk about the knit along, I'll chat a little bit about the stash enhancement I got this week. So I ordered from Christine over at Skeiny Dipping Yarns. There's her card. And it came with this cute little progress keeper with her. There you go. Okay, so I ordered 3 skeins of her Marrakesh fingering weight, which is 70 superwash merino, 20 cashmere, 10 nylon. So it's got 20% cashmere in it. I got Cease and Desist, Wacky Tobacco, and Malaria Dreams. And these will probably be a project together. But truthfully, I just saw them and had to have them, and I'm not 100% certain what they will be. But they're beautiful together. They would also be beautiful on their own, or just 2 colors together. So I just liked how they all worked. So yeah, it is incredibly soft. I just want to squish it all, and I'm hoping that these will not linger in the stash too long, that I'll cast something on relatively quickly. So if anybody has any ideas for beautiful 3-color shawls that use as much yarn as possible of each color, that would be great. I don't like to have a ton of leftovers and only use a tiny bit of one and then all of the other 2 or something like that. So anyway, we'll think on it. They're really pretty. Okay. So thank you, Christine. I think she had emergency surgery earlier this week, right when I was getting my package. I follow her on Instagram. So I hope you're doing well, Christine. And thank you so much for my beautiful yarn. Okay. So let's move on to the knit along. I'm so excited. My first knit along. I'm hosting the Pride Sockathon 2020. I'll put the hashtag right down here for you. It is my first knit along. It will run from June 1st to June 30th. You just have to cast on a pair of rainbow themed socks in the month of June and hashtag it on Instagram with the Pride Sockathon 2020 hashtag, and that will enter you in to win a prize. Let me grab my prize here. The prize will be this beautiful skein of To The Max Yarn Company in their Pansexual Pride colorway. And this is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's 115 grams, 415 yards. So a good size skein, easily enough to make a pair of socks. So this is the Pansexual Pride colorway. And this will be one of the prizes for the knit along. I have actually been contacted by a couple of other people, so we might have one other prize for the knit along, and I'll announce that next week. So yeah, all you have to do, take a picture of your cast on rainbow socks, hashtag it on Instagram, and that enters you in. If you finish the socks, fantastic. If not, as long as it's hashtagged, you're entered for the prize. I understand that not everybody is sock knitters and not everybody can finish a pair of socks in a month or wants to. That's totally fine. But if you're attempting to knit along with us, that's the only requirement. I personally will be doing a little bit different. I will be knitting as many pairs of socks, rainbow themed socks, as I can, and for each pair that I finish, I will be donating $25 to the Trevor Project. I did the same last year. I finished 6 pairs of socks and was able to donate $150 to the Trevor Project. Now, this donation portion is not a requirement of the knit along. If you would like to donate to the Trevor Project or another LGBTQ charity in your area, please do. June is Pride Month. I know lots of cities celebrate Pride in other months, but June is considered Pride Month as a whole. Lots and lots of cities celebrate their Prides in June, and unfortunately in 2020, due to COVID-19, a lot of cities have had to cancel their Pride. Most Prides have been canceled. So I feel like online Pride is how we're going to celebrate this year, and I'm very excited to be able to join in that with this knit along. So I thought I would show you the 6 pairs of socks I finished last year and go over some of the yarns, because I've had some questions about what constitutes a rainbow. And last year I was all over the rainbow spectrum of rainbows that I used, so I want you all to see what I'm considering rainbow. So let me grab the socks here, and I'm gonna show these in order of how I finished them. So the first pair of socks I knit was just this plain vanilla in this rainbowy stripe. This yarn is Quarry Fiber, and the colorway was Chromatic. And it was just a vanilla sock. So this was sock number 1. The second sock I knit is this Stunner. There's hairs on it. Sorry about that. This sock is the KAL Socks by Dawn Henderson. I love this pattern. I've actually knit another pair of KAL Socks since I knit these. It's a really great, easily memorizable pattern. So KAL Socks, the yarn that I used was Knitted Wit in their Love is Love colorway. Again, as you'll see, this isn't really, it doesn't rainbow stripe like this one, but it's still rainbow-esque, and their Love is Love colorway was one of their charity colorways that a portion of the proceeds was donated to a LGBTQ charity, so that would count for me as well. If the yarn you're buying is something going towards an LGBTQ charity and it has some kind of rainbow-esque, whether it's a traditional rainbow or one of the other rainbows associated with Pride, that's fine. So this was sock number 2. Sock number 3 was this Knit Picks Felici in the dark side colorway. The black has not, it has faded into the yellow quite a bit. So the yellow isn't quite as bright as it was, but it's cute. And this again was just a vanilla sock. The fourth pair of socks I knit is this pair. This pattern is the Wyatt Socks by Kay Litton, who is Crazy Sock Lady Designs. And this yarn is Orange Flower yarn. The colorway is Prism. And you'll see this isn't a true rainbow, but to me, I see rainbow colors in it, so it counts. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Anything that you see a rainbow in, it counts. So this was one of the pairs. Pair number 5 is another vanilla sock. You'll see I kind of did pattern, vanilla, pattern, vanilla. This is Gauge Dye Works, All Together Now. That's the colorway, All Together Now. And I love it. I wear these a lot. I like the yarn. I like the color. They fit really nicely. So that was pair number 5. And the final pair I did is this pair. Again, you'll see it's not really traditional rainbow. This was by GnomeAcres. She's no longer dyeing. But the color was Robots Like Rainbows, which to me is, you know, if it's got rainbow in the name and it's kind of some form of rainbow, I'll take it. The pattern was the Furrow Socks by Heather Asbury. I did kind of change it a little bit. I made some modifications to it, but that was the pattern that I used as a template, was the Furrow Socks. So that was pair number 6. So all 6 pairs. I like them all lined up here together. None of them are exactly a true rainbow, but they have a rainbow feel to them. Let's see here. There you go. So I want everybody to know that anything that you can make work. Also, it doesn't have to be, they can be shorty socks, they can be slipper socks. I would say not baby socks is honestly my only stipulation on sock size, but anything besides baby socks count. And if you have a question, please feel free to reach out to me. You can leave me a comment here. You can send me a message on Instagram or Ravelry, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible if you have a question on if something counts or whatnot. But I've stated most of my rules, and there aren't that many. So please feel free to join in if this sounds like something that you would enjoy. So the final little thing I want to go over is I need to pick my sock yarn to start with for this year. So the first pair that I'm going to cast on. So I have this entire bag of rainbow yarn. You can't really see it, but there you go. All of this is my rainbow yarn. I have a lot of it. So I picked 4 skeins for you guys to choose from for me to cast on. So they're just 1 through 4. They will be listed in the show notes. So if you want to pick your favorite, you can comment here below the video and let me know which one is your favorite, and I will take that into consideration. Ideally, whoever has the most votes will be the one that I cast on first on June 1st. They probably all will get knit during the month of June. That's my hope anyway, but we'll start with the first pair. So let me go over the 4 yarns that are my top choices right now. The first is this skein of Lola Bean Yarn Co. This is her string bean base, 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And the colorway is Make Way for the Bad Guy. I believe this is a Deadpool reference, but I could be wrong. I've never seen the movie. So, and I purchased this sometime last year when she had an update on her site. She oftentimes doesn't have updates on her site because she does a lot of wholesale, but every once in a while she will have an update available. So keep an eye on that. Follow her on Instagram. But Lola Bean Yarn Co. So that one is that's option 1. Option 2 is Mustache Yarn. Let's see if you can see the label. Okay, this is her perfect self-striping sock. It's must-match skein, so there's 2 identical skeins here. And this colorway is Dark Side EPV. So this will stripe. It'll have the gray and the black in between the stripes, I believe. I've had this in my stash for quite some time. I have quite a bit of mustache yarn, and I've never knit with any of it, so this is definitely one of the ones that I would like to get knit up this June. So that's number 2. Number 3 is this skein from Yarn Inc. I've had this in my stash for literal years and years, probably 5 years. This is Black and Rainbow with Pink. It's her merino nylon sock, 463 yards. So it's got speckles, really nicely done speckles. So that is color 3. That's an option. Again, it would be nice to knit this up. It's been in my stash for so long. It's very soft. I like that base. And the 4th one that's an option right now is Turtle Pearl Yarns, Striped Turtle Toes. Which again, it's 2 matching skeins so that you have exact stripes. This is her 75-25 superwash merino nylon, 450 yards. And the colorway is What Does It Mean? So that is, and it has big bands of gray with rainbow striping. Sorry about the dog barking. Must have a delivery coming. Okay. So that's option 4. So, to show them again really quick, these are my 4 options. Ooh, Okay. Lola Bean, Mustache Yarn, Yarn Inc., or Turtle Pearls. You can vote for your favorite for me to cast on first in the comments below. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope you will join in and vote and help me pick, because that's always my hardest part. Usually I have a coworker pick my skein of yarn. I bring the bag into the office and say, somebody pick a skein, that's what I'm going to knit next. And that's how I did it for most of last year. But I'm not going into the office right now, so it's a little bit harder. So, okay, I think that wraps up everything for this week. I really hope that everybody's having a great week. If you're in the U.S. and celebrating Memorial Day, I hope you have a fantastic long weekend. And for everyone else, I hope you have a great week ahead. I can't wait to chat with you guys again next week. It'll be the last podcast before we start the knit along, which again starts June 1st. All the details, I have a post up on my Instagram. And if you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. So everybody have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.